I've got the news in my pocket, a shine in my smile. I'm trying to keep y'all around for a while in this world and its mechanical heart. I have got all of its frequencies stirring around in my head, and it's like, take me away from Jeb, from normal life, and it's so sad that's gone. I'm trying to keep...
Hey, Jane, what's up?
Not much.
Dude, thank you so much, first of all, for sitting down to talk with me, man. It means a lot.
No problem.
Yeah. And let me also have my my fanboy moment real quick. I love your shit, and I appreciate what you do. Blah 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 blah. You know, stuff you've heard before. But you know.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So basically, I'm putting together this thing about my experiences with VR and my discovery of you. So I just have a couple questions here for you. It shouldn't take too long. All right.
On a phone call?
What's that?
Are you recording on a phone currently?
No, my mic is just really fucking terrible.
I was just wondering because your icon.
Oh, my
phone.
Oh, it's probably because I have Discord on my phone as well, like pulled up.
Yeah.
Because
that's possible.
Yeah. Anyway, so my first question is, what are some of your favorite things about VR in general?
Well, for one of my favorite things about some of my favorite things about VR would be that it allows you to explore a type of person's world that isn't your own. Like, okay, I'll elaborate with this. So, with every video game that's made, every video game has a piece of the developers in it, whether it's one or multiple. And a lot of VR games are just very small amounts of people, and you can actually like really feel that when you play VR games. Like, there's just a lot of authentic personality to VR, and so you can go and you can like play Boneworks, for instance, and you can see the kind of thought that went into what they did making the game. But if they hadn't made the game, there's no way that anybody else could have replicated that. And it's just much cooler to see that in VR than regular flat screen games because you feel like you're there.
Okay.
And another thing I like is just like the communities that you can find, like because there's like with VRChat, like there's a lot of really cool people in VRChat that if I hadn't played it, I wouldn't have met them. And like, and the cool thing about VRChat is that you feel like you're there, and it can really help people who are depressed or physically disabled who can't like leave the house and make conversations easily. But like a lot of people that I meet on there are just too depressed or too self-conscious to go outside and just talk to people out in the real world, and so it gives them a spot to find their friends, find a place they feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And that actually kind of answers my next question, which was what are your favorite things about VRChat? So if you have anything else in that realm that you want to bring up, feel free to. If not, we can move forward.
Okay. Some of my favorite moments in VRChat would be like playing music live in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do prefer it in real life, it's also pretty cool to have people come in and just listen and just sit there. And that's it. You would expect differently from a very open VR multiplayer game, or I mean a multiplayer game in general. But for some reason, when you play music in VRChat live for people, VRChat people are more likely to just sit there and listen.
Mm. All right. Thank you. So, I feel like I can already assume this next question because I follow your Twitter as well. What is your favorite VR game right now?
I'd say, I mean, a lot of people would probably say Half-Life Alyx, and I mean that's just the okay. So Half-Life Alyx is my favorite game right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to say because I like a lot of games, but yeah, Half-Life Alyx is my favorite game. But Boneworks is my favorite VR game.
Ah, that's the one.
And then Pavlov comes third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I guess VRChat.
yeah. I've seen like talk about like, hey, someone want to play a VR a Boneworks multiplayer with me, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw my video.
Oh yeah. So I want to touch on the music side of everything that you do. So I've seen like covers. I've seen other interviews in other videos about your kind of influence. I know folk punk is predominantly kind of your deal, and I just wanted to ask like, what are some of your biggest punk influences?
So with punk influences, I'd say a lot of local punk bands I saw growing up. Voice of God, Cincinnati actually helped them make music back in the day. But that took a while. But first it was them, I would go and watch them play their shows and I was so excited about it and I was having a lot of fun. And then I started singing for Voice of God for a little while. That was fun. And then other punk influences go back to like Crass and Minor Threat, like 70s and 80s punk rock. And nowadays I listen to a lot more newer punk like Pup or Off With Their Heads. Off With Their Heads is a very big influence, I'd say.
All right. So would you classify any of those as a favorite? Do you have a favorite punk group?
My favorite punk group would probably be either Running and Screaming from San Diego or Off With Their Heads, I think.
Okay. All right. Um, and I also wanted to touch on this one is more for me and less for the video, but I'm still including it because it's fucking neat. I wanted to ask about your Billy Cobb collaboration, Inelween, because yeah, it's turned into one of my favorite songs in general, just because not only does it cover um, the concepts of incel in such like a way that hasn't really been covered, and on top of that, it just sounds really fucking good. How did that come about? Who approached who? You know?
So basically, I reached out to Billy Cobb, and I was like, "Hey, I have literally the same amount of subscribers," and that was back then. I had the same amount of subscribers as him before we made that
Mm-hmm.
song, and it was like 35,000 something. And I was like, "Hey, Billy, I have the same amount of subscribers as you. I'm a prominently music-based YouTube channel. Do you want to make like a song together? Like maybe like an emo song?" And Billy Cobb's like, "You know what? I don't really want to make an emo song for a while. I'm not really feeling that. But how about we make a comedy song?" And so I was like, "You know what? That sounds pretty good." And we were just trying to go about stuff, trying to think of like because Halloween was coming up, and we were like, what can we do? How can we be new and like put it was a weird creative process. I'll say that. There's a lot of stuff that didn't get used, but I really enjoyed working with Billy Cobb. I think that he has a lot of really funny ideas, but it was like a half and half of ideas coming from both of us. So I think we worked on the chorus together, and then we both did our own verses, and we would add to each other's verses basically. Like
Mhm.
I don't think a lot of like our additions to each other's verses got kept. But like how it came about was just I went on Twitter and I was like, hey Billy, want to do a thing? And that's kind of how that happened. And then I made a cover of Billy Cobb after I had the conversation to like maybe like I don't know make people think that I might do a collaboration with him, and then I did.
um, that's awesome. That's really cool to hear. Do you think that you and Billy Cobb will ever collaborate again?
I'm not sure. We haven't really spoken since I did that song with him.
Hmm.
I could probably ask him again because I do like his music. I've been listening to it for a while.
Okay.
I would like to make something more, I guess, emotional. Like not so much like a funny song, but I guess even a funny song would be welcome.
I get
Uh,
that.
yeah. If it happens, it happens. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, me neither, honestly. um, so I skipped the question because I'm a fucking retard. Basically, I had just watched your video essay thing, kinda whatever it can be classified as, about old video games and trauma.
I would
Um,
say an attempt at an essay, but yeah.
yeah. Well, I will say I'm excited for part two. I think you did good. But either way, I wanted to ask what predominantly like I know in your Twitter bio I think it says I play Skate 2 and make music or something like that. I also know you're a fan of Half-Life.
Yes.
And you touched on some of the stuff you played like way back in the day. But what are some of your favorite games in general? I know we already touched on Boneworks and Half-Life Alyx.
So some of my absolute favorite video games would have to be Silent Hill 2 because I like the soundtrack. That's amazing. Like the soundtrack is like emo and like goth kind of music, but orchestral. I didn't know you could like combine those things. And like Silent Hill 2, like the atmosphere is amazing, like the story is amazing. It's just this like hellscape and it's nightmare fuel. It's great. I love it. I like old horror games a lot. So like you're gonna run through your Silent Hills, your old Resident Evil games. I really like that one on the GameCube. What is that called? I don't remember. It's at some point. But there's like a horror game on the GameCube where there's a sanity meter, and it can mess with your screen basically,
Oh
and it like
yeah,
pretends to turn your volume down.
yeah.
Eternal Darkness. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple other ones. I really like Halo. If you couldn't tell, I played a lot of Halo 3 when I was a teenager. That was a lot of fun. I liked Super Smash Brothers. That's a big favorite.
Mm.
Soul Calibur 2 and the newest Soul Calibur. I like Nintendo. Is a favorite of mine.
Sorry, could
And,
you repeat that? You cut out for a couple seconds.
Kirby Dream Course would be another favorite of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Good game. And
Hello? Hello? Technical difficulties.
oh.
Hello? Are you there? Friendo?
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. You cut out for a bit. I don't know what happened there.
Weird.
Weird.
Crap. Yeah, I think I covered like my favorite games.
Gotcha. All right, we're almost done. Bear with me here.
You're good.
Let's see. I wanted to also ask, what is your favorite piece of work that you have made? I know artists tend to hate their own stuff. I know I do. So if there's one that you just hate the least, that also works.
So when it comes to my own music, I think I like go to what everybody else likes, kind of like I like Tiny Album EP basically. Like I like that because a lot of people like that. I'd say my favorite piece of work would be psychedelic post-punk. That's a good
Oh,
song.
because that's the newer one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Neato.
had a lot of fun with
Neato. So I just have one more thing. Um, you definitely don't have to. No pressure at all. But if you would like to, play what small audience I have a song right now, that'd be neato. If not, that's completely all right. But if you would like to, the option is here.
Sure.
Sweet. It can be anything.
Gotta setting up my microphone. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Laying so calmly by your bed, stuffed foxes look alive, but they're dead. I wanna move, wrap my arm around your side, but I have no courage, but I will survive. Tangled in a crush, too tough to change. Am I in love or am I insane? I wish I lived with you every day, but I am a coward and that is okay. I have no courage, but that is okay. I think that my microphone was a little too high there.
Honestly, that's fucking great, man. That's amazing. That's what I fucking needed. Oh my god.
Cool.
Awesome. Holy shit.
Thanks.
Oh man. Sorry, I hate celebrity worship, but I'm a little starstruck to be honest with you.
I'm not much of a celebrity, but thank you.
Thank you, Jane, for sitting down with me for a couple minutes and talking to me. I really, really, really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Hope you have a good day. And if you ever want to play any video games, you know where to find me.
Dude, fuck yeah. Also, one more thing. When the video is up, I'll send you a link to it if you'd like to watch it.
Yeah, sure. That'd be good. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you around.
All right. Peace.